Hey everybody, this is MG Vids talking about a really interesting game today, Hyper Square. It just came out, um, and it is essentially drag your square or twist your square or throw your square into um, the square of the empty square that's the same size. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's hop in here to the first level and I'll show you. You can tell right off the bat this game's got a great soundtrack. So I'm just flinging these squares into the empty square that's the same size. Now, as you advance further in the game, you'll see that there are different variations. So you might have to twist the square to get it to fit. You might have to shrink the square, expand the square, or do all of them. So with the soundtrack and the simplicity in the gameplay, I find it really addictive. And just really a well done and interesting game. Game is $1.99 to download, but I feel like it's worth every penny. This is one of the few games that I spent, $1, $2, $3, $4 on in the App Store. That's been worth it. I really enjoyed it up to this point. And when you look at yourself in the leaderboard, those rankings or scores are the combinations of your scores in all of the levels. So there's 8 levels, and I'll show you that when I die here. Typically, you start with an introductory, then you go through 8 phases, and then you go through a max, and you're just trying to rack up as many points as possible. You can see the line descending along the screen. That's basically the time that I have to complete each scenario that pops up. Killing it right now. But this is the easiest variety, right? Just fling your squares. It gets significantly harder once you have to start twisting them. 412, that's my best one on that one. So let's go ahead and look at levels for a second. So I have where I just fling, you'll see that there. Then I'll go into fling outwards to scale. What does that mean? That's basically expanding the square. So let's take a look at that level. And here you're going to use 2 fingers. So I'm using 2 fingers to expand the square to fill. And I might have to expand or I might have to shrink. And now you can see it also combines the previous gameplay or required motion from the previous level, right? So not only am I expanding or shrinking, but I'm also having to fling squares as well. And you'll see that in every level, it builds on the previous. And when you get through the 4 initial movements, you then they insert a new feature where there's now red squares with X's on the screen. Essentially those that you don't want to touch to, throw a little bit of a twist and make it a little tougher. So let's see if we can crank through this here. But yeah, isn't the soundtrack really good? All these geometry style games, they always seem, you play them like, man, this is so simple, yet they turn out to be just really well done. Enjoyable. Expand, toss, toss. And we're on a run here. And it does become interesting when you're using both of your fingers to play through the game. And then the angle of them begins to throw you off too, right? So you'll see some squares twisted at a certain angle, and the square that's twisted in that same direction has got to go there. Overshot it. But level 2 completed, so there you go. So here's where I'm at so far. I've unlocked through level 7. I got really good at the greens are where you're just flinging the square to the other square. Blues are when you begin to twist them. Yellow and orange is essentially when I'm also twisting the square. And I'll show you that one next. So go back to levels here. So that's blue. So you see now I'm twisting. So now that's what the next level will encompass. So I can twist, but I'll also have to fling, and I'll also have to shrink. So here's some shrink. Here's a twist and a fling. And it just starts really messing you up when you start thinking, okay, I can do so many things now. Which of those should I do, right? So that's an expand, that's a twist. That's a twist and expand. And as you rack up enough experience, you can unlock the next level. And as you make it to different phases, it'll give you experience bonuses. And so that helps advance through the game. Oh man, almost didn't make that one. We are cranking it out now. Alright, that was actually my best one there. I've been struggling with the twists. And then this is twist and enlarge. So now it's combined the last two, so essentially everything now. Twist and enlarge as I'm moving. Man. These are not my strong levels, you can tell. And let me just show you, I'll show you on the, we'll do the expand. So this is that next iteration, levels 4 through 8, where you begin to have the red X's, and I'll show you, see, you can see them pop up there, and basically you can't fling your blocks into there, nor can you basically try to expand or shrink those blocks. And so they do try to throw you off, and you know, when it starts going so fast, you're just basically grabbing anything and try to get through. But the soundtrack's just awesome. Not fast enough. What the heck? Alright. So if we go back to Game Center, like I said, you know, it takes your score from each level, adds them together. You can see where you rank against everyone else. And I'm at 1283 right now. This guy, Fred, looks like he just hacked it. But see, top score really is like 5,000. So some superstars. So we're starting to catch up. But definitely have a ways to go, huh? Because there's a lot in the 12 and 1300s. So this is Hypersquare. It's just out, $1.99 to download. We think it's pretty awesome here. It's very simple. It's neat going between the single finger and double finger, twist and flick to play the game. Pretty neat use of the features that, you know, iPhone, iPad, basically iOS software provides. And I definitely think you should go out and give it a try. I hope this is helpful. And this is MG Vids. Thanks.